In this video today, we're going to talk about how you should be selling your music in 2019. How do we do that? Well, let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is me, and they call me Heat. And before we get into this video, please guys, make sure you follow me on Instagram at they call me Heat, and follow me on Twitter at _they call me Heat. Talk to me, all right? Let's go. As a recording artist, you know, we have so many different, or you have so many different outlets. You know, I'm not a recording artist, but, you know, I'm considered an artist because I do create. I'm a creative. But anyway, you have multiple ways of how you can, you know, sell your music or go about, you know, getting your music to the world and to different, you know, parts of the world, right? You know, back in the day, you know, we sold CDs, or let's take it back even further. They were 8 tracks. A lot of y'all might not remember. That was before my time for sure too. I'm not old, but that was before my time. You know, after that, there was records. There was actual vinyl records. And then came the CD era, or tape era first, and then the CD era. A lot of you might not remember those, and there's going to be a generation that doesn't even remember, you know, the CD era. And the CD era right now is still around, but there's going to be people, you know, the younger generation is not even going to remember, you know, that we had CDs around. And that's the crazy part, because that's how a lot of artists really truly made money before streaming came along. I remember at one point in time, streaming was an issue for artists and labels. They're like, yo, how are these people making money off of my music for someone just listening to it on their computer, you know, digitally, or, you know, on their little MP3 player? You know, there were things like Zoom. There was, you know, iTunes. iTunes has been around for a long time. There's been, you know, things like, you know, Rhapsody Music. Like, there's so many different outlets that have been out for so long for us to be able to, you know, stream and listen to our music digitally, to where we don't have to leave the comfort of our home. We can actually download something, and then the artist is being paid. And that has been in the works for so long. Now we're into the era where you all can have your music out digitally, and like just at the click of a button, the blink of an eye, the snap of a finger. Like, it's no reason why, you know, you shouldn't be, you know, making money from your music. So how to sell your music in 2019 is not necessarily selling anymore. You know, it's, like I stated, it's streaming now. We're in the era of streaming, so the sale or the exchange of money from the consumer to the artist, for, you know, that thing that we create, which is called music, is through what's called a stream. You know, you can put your music up through, you know, DistroKid, TuneCore, Catapult. There's other ones out there, CD Baby. There's so many different, you know, outlets out there nowadays, that you can put your music out and make money from selling your music. Now, of course, they still give you the option to sell your music through, you know, CDs and vinyls and, you know, different things like that. But now you don't necessarily have that. So let's say you're a brand new artist and you don't have a fan base, but you know some people that will listen to your music. You don't have a strong enough fan base to actually sell a piece of merch, you know, a piece of, and when I say merch, I don't mean clothing, I don't mean, you know, shoes. I mean merch as far as physical CDs or physical vinyls, you know, novelty items like tapes and, you know, thumb drives and things like that. There's just so many ways for you to make money off of your music now, outside of trying to, you know, just sell. Take a look at these upcoming independent labels like Griselda, for instance. They're a hip-hop label, and, you know, there's West Side Gun, there's Benny, there's Conway, there's a few other artists on the label. But what they do is they don't really focus on necessarily streaming all the way. They focus more so on the brand that makes you want to stream their music now, that makes you want to buy their merch. So the way that they brand their music and they brand their product is such a different way than how everyone does it, because it's not the casual way anymore. You know, they'll come up with some merch that is region specific. So what do I mean by that? I mean that they'll come up with a hoodie or crew neck, a jacket that is, you know, specific to, let's say they come to your city and recently Charlotte, and Benny had a show in Charlotte, and what they did was they came up with a crew neck that was in the Charlotte Hornets color. Now, I'm a Charlotte Hornets fan, not me specifically, but I'm saying if I was a Charlotte Hornets fan and you come to my city in Charlotte, I come to your show and you have my colors for the product that I love, oh, I'm buying that. And what does that mean? Now, I just bought a $50, $70 hoodie. I sold a piece of my music. That wasn't necessarily my music, but it has the cover, the album cover on it. So it's selling a piece of merchandise, you know? They didn't have to get that from a stream or someone listening to the stream. But because they bought that merchandise, now somebody else is going to be like, yo, who is that? Where'd you get that from? Who's the artist on there? Oh, this is Benny. This is Benny the Butcher. Oh, let me go check him out. Because you bought your fan bought a $70 hoodie. Not saying that it's going to work for everyone, but there's so many different ways for you to make money off of your music in 2019. Now, back to the main point of, you know, selling your music without selling it is, you know, taking that song and putting it on, you know, these streaming platforms and allowing your fans to just stream it. Whether they buy it or not, because you still have the option to buy a CD, whether they buy it or not, there's still a currency exchange there for them listening, for them paying that $9.99 for a Spotify, for them paying that $9.99 for an Apple Music, for them paying a $4.99 for a Pandora Music every month. There's an exchange. You're sharing a piece of the profit with those companies. So it breaks down, and of course it's, you know, a little under a penny, but you think about it. You stay consistent and you drop 4 or 5 albums in a year, because now you don't have to wait on the label to release this music. You don't have to wait on the label to say, yo, we need a fire single. We need 18 tracks or 10 tracks on this album. We need you here to do this show. We need you here to do this show. You don't have to do that anymore. Now what you can do is you can release your music right now through these aggregators, as I gave you, and you can have your music out just like that. You don't have to wait on a label, your manager. You don't have to have a manager. You don't have to have a label. Like, you don't need any of those things. You can drop your album for $25 a year. $20 a year, you can drop unlimited albums, get your Spotify verified, you know, with the check, making it more official and more professional. Just do DistroKid, and you can use my link in the description below for DistroKid to get a percentage off to release your first project. Or if you're, you know, with another aggregator and you're like, I'm not really feeling them, you can go to DistroKid, use the link below, and then, you know, put your music out. Now, that's one way. Again, like I said, you know, you can sell your own merch, set up your own website, sell your music through that. You know, skip the middleman. You know, get your full potential, your full amount of money. If you want to sell an album for $12, but you don't want to go through a Spotify or any of those people or Apple Music, set up your own website. You know, newhotartist.com. You know, and boom, you making money independently with no middleman whatsoever. Your fans only want your product, so they come to your site to get your product. You know, you can set you up some ads, run some ads, and promote your product before you release it. You know, there's so many different ways that you can make money, but the number one way to sell your music without actually selling it is to stream it. Have it on these streaming sites. Have it everywhere for people to stream it. Because then you don't have to say, hey, tagging everybody on Facebook, tagging everybody on Instagram, download my new mixtape. Dat Piff is not giving you a piece of the pie. Live Mixtapes is not giving you a piece of the pie. MyMixtapes.com is not giving you a piece of the pie. Put it on these streaming platforms. Get it out there so everyone in the world can see it. You know, because there's people listening to music when you're asleep. People listening to music, you know, all the time, like 24/7. So use the link below to release your next project, to release your next album or whatever. And, you know, put that music out. Put that music that's just sitting on your hard drive. Put that out. Get it out there for people to hear it. And start making some money. You know, start selling that music without actually selling it. That's the way, okay? I hope this video helped you guys. I hope you guys like this video. Definitely give it a thumbs up if this video helped you. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit that bell for notifications for future videos. All right? And if I didn't tell you, please don't forget to subscribe, okay? Until next time, y'all, peace.